Hey guys, welcome back. We're gonna show you guys another how-to video today. Today, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be changing out the gauges on this 2023 street bob. A lot of people don't know this, but everybody now that's recently gone into the Harley scene and bought a Softail, everybody's used to seeing these gauges, right? The little simple digital gauge. So we're gonna show you guys a how-to video on another set of gauges that you can get from the dealer, and we'll show you everything that you need to make them fit on this bike or any other bar setups. And we'll give you guys a rundown of all the parts you need, what harness you need, and it's honestly a simple install. And I'll show you guys how to route everything properly, make it all look pretty, and show you guys how it bolts right up. So right here laid out on the table, we have everything that you guys are going to need to get this dual gauge installation done on a Softail. The first thing that we're going to start off with is your gauges. So these gauges are factory from Harley OEM. This is your speedometer and this is your tachometer. And right here are the part numbers in case you guys want to go to your Harley dealership and order them. The next thing that you'll need is somewhere for the gauges to sit. So this is your dual gauge housing. These we're able to get for you in wrinkle black, gloss black, or chrome. In the package, you'll get your dual gauge housing, your backing plates for the gauges, and the 4 screws for the gauges. The next thing that we're going to need is the wiring harness. So this wiring harness Gorilla Cable makes. You guys are able to order it on their website or hit us up if you guys want us to get it for you guys. But this is the similar to the stock, and it'll be a direct plug and play for those gauges. The next thing that you're going to need is gauge gaskets. So these gauge gaskets, these are the ones that go on the gauges that sit on the inside and one that sits on the back side. So the first one here is, as you can see, this one is the rear one. So you can tell it's the rear one because it has the cutouts to run the wires through here. And then from there you have the front. And this is the front, and you can see the front doesn't have the cutouts. So it just sits nice and flush. And then last but not least, in this particular setup, because our buddy Jay has a street bob with T-bars, we ended up buying him these bit wall clamps that are gonna allow us to mount the gauge housing to the T-bars. And yeah, guys, let's go on over here to the bike and we'll start working on it. All right, guys, so here we are. We're here at Jay's bike. We're about to start removing his gauge mount, his digital gauge mount, and then we're gonna go ahead and install the dual gauges. The first thing we need though is protection. Thank you, Pancho. So guys, Saddleman makes these. These are really good. We literally just got them yesterday, and dude, the quality and the softness on the inside feels like Pancho's mullet. So yeah, guys, we just use it for protection. And then, so the only thing you really have to do is you have to unplug the connection right here at the neck for the gauge. If you want to come on this side, sorry. So right here, guys, so you have to remove your rubber grommet. Once you remove your rubber grommet, follow the gauge, and it should be a white one. And it's actually, let me see real quick. It is going to be right here. So it should look like this connector right here. Guys, sometimes it's a little difficult to take off. So get a little pick, push down on here, and it should just pop off. Sauce, like that. So then from there, Pancho, can you start pulling this wire, please? Easy, easy. There you go. Out. Cool. And that's it. It's that easy. It's that easy to remove the wiring from the gauge. So then from there, we're going to go ahead and remove the mount. Oh, cool. Thank you, Pancho. Look at you. Everybody should have a Pancho at their shop. Just saying.
Hey, where can you find a Pancho?
Oh, dude, this one I found on OfferUp a couple years ago. Rare find, guys, rare find. All you wanted at first was a headlight. Look at them now. So come hold this for me real quick. Hold that. Let me take this off real quick. Oh, look at this. Look at this. It holds your tools. That's crazy. So yeah, guys, we're just gonna take this off. Got it? Cool. And there it is, guys.
All right, guys, I'm going to walk you through how to assemble this dual gauge conversion. We're going to start off with the Speedo. Grab your Speedo. You're going to grab your front top gasket. You're going to grab a little bit of lube up the inside. It'll make your life a lot easier when it comes to sliding them over the back of the gauges. This is your top. There's a lip that sits on top of the gauge mount. Just like that. Slide her on. Any excess you can wipe off. Make sure it's nice and straight. You're going to slide it over the gauge mount. For now, we're going to leave that as is. We're going to move over to the tack. You do the same thing with the tack. You have your top gasket, a little bit of lube. Lube up the inside. A little bit more lube just for extra measures. And this is what you're going to want to see. Just pull this back a little bit so it's not in your way. And you want it nice and snug like that. You go ahead and drop it in. Make sure it's nice and straight. After you've completed those steps, this is what your outcome should be. Should look something like this. So now we're going to go ahead and flip this over and continue on the back side. So we're going to go ahead and grab our Gorilla Cables wiring harness. And in this particular case, the black is for your Speedo and the gray is for your tack. They only go in one way, so you can't screw this up. You gotta make sure you hear them clicks. That's very important. You're gonna do all this work to get to that point, and they didn't click in, so they're not working. Something wrong. So once you got them all plugged in, you want to go ahead and grab your rear gaskets. Remember, they have the cutout for the wiring. You're gonna want to use a little bit of lube, but this time you're gonna want to go along this edge right here. Don't mind that. That's the hood. Someone just stole a car. You're also going to want to make sure that these are kind of lined up evenly, because if not, you're going to fight these to get in there. And we're going to repeat that for the tack now. A little bit of lube. So let me just clean my hands real quick, and we're going to go ahead and cap these off. Grab your rear lids. And these are also a part of the list of parts you're going to have to get to make this work. Thank you. No, thank you. All right, guys, now that we're all finished up buttoning these up, you want to remember not to over torque these Allen heads, because you can snap them, just because you have to keep in mind they are plastic still, the gauges, and you'll be back buying new ones. This is the final product on the front side.
Hey, Pancho, can I get these off of Facebook Marketplace, bro? I saw like $100 a pair.
Well, actually, guys, quick little pro tip. You cannot get these used, unfortunately. You are able to get the tachometer used, but you cannot get the Speedo used. Because it just so happens that on the Softail models, 2018 and up, the moment that these gauges record 100 miles on them, they get married to the ECM. And as of right now, as far as I know, none of these things, you can't just plug this into your bike and connect it, because it'll say VIN error on it. So unfortunately, if you guys happen to see a good deal on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, or the Trader page, they unfortunately won't work with your bike and just save your money, man. Unfortunately, to get this, you're just gonna have to buy them brand new from the dealer. And hey, at the end of the day, it gives you a peace of mind that you're guaranteed to work and not take them back to the dealer. But yeah, that's it, guys. So let's see it real quick. Check it out, guys. So this is the difference. You have this simple gauge house, digital gauge from Harley, and we're going over to Nice meaty dual gauges. I don't know, guys. You guys tell me what you guys prefer. This or the old school stuff. Wait till it lights up though. So now the first thing we gotta do is mount the bitwell gauge clamps for the T-bars. All right, so I think I'm gonna need a quarter, Pancho.
When it comes to the digital gauge, what do I do with it? Do I need to keep it for the rest of the life bike, or do I
Hey.
throw them away? Or
You can try saying it at the swap meet if you want, but I wouldn't recommend that because that person's gonna come find you and be like, "Hey, this thing didn't work because it said veneer lock." So just keep that in mind. Oh, Pancho, can you go check if we have ARP bolts in this size in our ARP bin? Can you also give me the tool back though? Thank you.
now, let's say I'm new to the bike scene and I want to do this myself. Do you think this is something I can do at home?
You can do this definitely at home. You just gotta be careful. Just make sure. The biggest thing is, man, a lot of people they decide to do any like sort of like anything that has to do with electrical in their handlebars, and then maybe they unplug the wrong thing, or they forget to plug something in, or you start to get worried because the check engine light goes off. But sometimes, man, the check engine light literally goes off because you disconnected a wire and you just connected it back, but it came on. You can just clear it. Remember, if you're able to clear the check engine light code and it doesn't come back, you're fine. You got some? Tight. Sick. Look at that. Look at that. This is what makes this gauge setup expensive. Holy bolts. So now let's see, which way should this go? Like that. So this one's gonna go on this side. Good way. All right, guys. So we tried mocking this up right now, but we actually have to go back to the table to set it all up on the clamps first, and then from there we'll go back to the bars and then finish setting it up. We're here back at the table, so now we're gonna just start prepping the clamps with the gauge housing. So like I said, we got the fancy bolts here. And we're not gonna tighten them all the way, we're just gonna snug them down. Because we wanna be able to wiggle the mount to the triple trees. I mean to the T-bars. So just something like that, so we can still wiggle it. Cool. And then from there, we're gonna walk back over to the T-bars and then start mounting them on. All right, guys. So now we got the T-bar mounts installed on the gauge housings. So now we're gonna go ahead and mount them to the T-bars. So start with one side. That's why you want to leave it loose so you can wiggle stuff around. And then we'll do this side as well. Here, Pancho, can you help me here real quick? You can start the bolts. Make sure, guys, you guys put some blue Loctite on this. Are you able to get in there? All right, guys, so there you go. As you guys can see, we're almost done mocking this up. We just needed the T-handle. Got to do it by hand now. It is a little tight to get in here, so bear with me. I did recently get my torque arm serviced at the Snap-on truck this morning. A couple ugga-duggas, you know? So check it out. There it is. The only thing left to do is tighten up the gauges to the mount. There it is, guys. What do you guys think? All right, last thing to do is just connect it back, run the wire through. Now that we get it all connected and buttoned up, we'll go ahead and show the customer. We'll turn the bike on, and then you guys will see how the gauges light up. And the only thing we probably have to do is clear the codes because we unplugged a connector. And then from there, it should be good to go. And you'll see that everything works. The speedometer, tachometer, and it's all fresh. Make sure you guys tuck all the wires back in. And then, little pro tip, we'll go look at what Pancho's doing. It makes your life easier when putting that rubber grommet back in place. All right, so you guys can see Pancho warmed up the rubber, and it makes it a lot easier to run the wires back through here and for the grommet to sit properly. There it is, back in its place. All right, guys, so there it is. We finished setting up the dual gauges on the Softail Street Bob. We're gonna have the customer come in right now and check them out. And then we're gonna have him do the honors of ripping the tape off and turning them on. As you guys can see, you already see the little red dot flashing. So there, you know it has power. And yeah. All right, guys, that's a wrap. We just finished up the dual gauge setup on this 2023 Softail Street Bob. We went from this corny thing to that, the nice traditional dual disc gauge setup. One quick tip that I forgot to mention is the moment that you connect the wiring and you turn the bike on, you'll see that it's going to mirror the exact same miles that the bike originally had with the previous gauge. So don't think that you're gonna put these new gauges on the bike and it's gonna read 0 miles. It's literally gonna read off the ECM, and then it's gonna tell the gauges exactly what they need to read. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, they have to have 0 miles or be brand new from the factory of the gauges in order for them to work. But this is exactly what your setup can look like on your Softail. I had swapped it over to miles. It said kilometers, but now it says miles.
Rev it so I can see it.
All right, guys, there it is. We just knocked out this dual gauge setup on the Softail Street Bob. If this is something that you're looking to get done on your Softail, your lowrider ST, let us know. Unfortunately, just one tech tip, we cannot install this on a 2025 Softail ST, unfortunately, because their wiring diagram or their wiring setup is way different than these bikes, unfortunately. So if you do happen to have a 24 or an under Softail, we'll be able to help you out with this. Hit up the shop number, hit us up on YouTube, or hit up Pancho. Pancho now is the one responsible for the shop phone. So if you guys need to call somebody or text somebody, that's who you'll be dealing with. And guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next vlog. Peace.